Hi, my name is Sean. I'm 21 years old, and these past few months have been the worst months of my life. The last time I can remember being happy, having any ounce of genuine joy, was when I actually turned 21, July 25th. Shortly after that, me and my family received a notice from our landlord that they weren't going to renew the lease for another year. So we only had 60 days to find a place to stay. Collectively, we really didn't make the best amount of money. So when time came, which was I think October 2nd, it was time for us to go. We ended up moving in with our aunt, and she's been very gracious and kind to all of us. But I'd be lying if I said that it's been the easiest transition, or if I've ever even felt comfortable. Throughout this time, I was kind of jumping from job to job. I was very inconsistent when it came to me trying to, I guess, establish myself or find a place where I belonged. It's not anything I'm proud of, and this is not an excuse for that either, because at the end of the day, had I moved a little faster, had I moved a little earlier, maybe a lot of this stuff could have been prevented. I ended up getting a job at a warehouse around October and November time, but I didn't last long at the job because I ended up accumulating too many points, so they ended up letting me go. Around this time, me and my mom, we started growing closer. A little backstory on that. Growing up hasn't really been the easiest. All of my brothers had a special, I'd say, connection or relationship with my mom, but I was the middle child, so I ended up kind of getting the latter. I felt neglected. I felt alone. Growing up, my oldest brother, he's better now, but he wasn't a good person to me as a kid. There was a lot of abuse going on. And this family that I'm a part of, I guess it was something that they were kind of used to. You know, I would try to tell people about it. I was never heard. Second oldest brother, again, he's better now too. But back then, he always ignored me. I always felt alone. There was times where I was trying to talk to him, trying to get to know him, and he would just get up and walk away. He would pay me no mind. He would never even speak to me. My dad, he left when I was 3 years old. He's been trying actively to be a part of my life now and be a part of the picture. And I've been slowly opening that door, but he's suffocating me, trying to be close. The only person that was ever kind to me was my little brother. He was probably the sweetest person I've ever known. But because of everything that I was dealing with as a kid growing up, I was taking it out on him, ignoring him, or even being abusive to him too. We weren't really close. He was trying his hardest. And we didn't really get close until we got some time apart. And now I would consider my little brother to be one of my best friends. So jumping back, let's just jump to December of 2022. I ended up saying, fuck it. Let me just find a job, any job, it doesn't matter. Because I knew I needed the money. I got responsibilities. I got bills. I got things to take care of. So I ended up applying for another distribution center. And this is probably the best job I've had. The people there are very genuine. They really care about me, and they can relate to a lot of the things that I've been through. So I started that job, I think, either on the 12th of December or the 14th. But I was only like a week in, and things were looking a little better. Money was looking a little better. Starting to fix, certain things about my credit. Things were looking up from here until the 22nd of December. I get up in the morning. I get up around 5:45 because that's when I have to. From where we're staying now up until the job, it takes about 40 minutes to get there, 40 minutes to an hour. So the commute, the travel isn't exactly the easiest, but I've been making it work. Excuse me. December 22nd rolls around. I get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, typical morning routine. I leave to go to work. As I'm at work, I think it's like 9 or 10 in the morning, I get a text from my oldest brother, and he let me know that my mom, she collapsed on the floor. She just fell. She showed no signs of this, of being sick. Actually, scratch that. Earlier in that week, because this took place on a Thursday, on Tuesday morning, it was all of us going the same way because we would all work the same way. On the way up there, I had a slight feeling that I should be the one, because she was driving that morning, and I had a slight feeling. I was like, maybe I should be driving this morning. I didn't know why. I didn't know where that feeling came from, but I felt it. We weren't even far from our aunt's house before my mom ended up passing out. She got lightheaded. She just passed out, and I had to quickly move, clean her up because she had spilled coffee on herself. Had to quickly park the car. All of that. So then we jump Thursday, and she collapses again, but this time it's not something that she wakes up from. She ends up in the hospital. We talked with some doctors, and they say that she has suffered from a cardiac arrest. I'm hearing all this information, and I really don't know how to feel, what to do. I don't even know what to think, but I try to stay positive. And then later on that night, another doctor walks in, and he confirms that yes, it was a cardiac arrest, and she's been experiencing some seizure-like symptoms. And they said that the cortex of her brain was swollen, and that it was severe brain damage from the traumatic event that's taken place. And she more than likely will never be the same again. I didn't know how to feel about that. I really didn't. In that moment, I just, it's like one of those moments in movies or TV shows where the main character is hearing some unfortunate news, and you just kind of hear the audio fading out, and you just kind of hear like a little beep or whatever, like a dog whistle kind of sound. It was kind of like that for me. It was like after a certain point, I stopped listening. I got up and I walked away, and my family's trying to call me back because they were sitting downstairs, like, oh, say hey to the family, da 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 da. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I went to sit in my car, and I just found anything that I could, and I just destroyed it. Just started ripping things up, throwing things around, screaming, yelling. I broke down. And over time, she just remained the same, experiencing seizure-like symptoms, laying in a bed, not doing much at all, just comatose. My family, they're trying to be positive, oh, it's not going to be like this, it could get better. I knew the truth. I knew the honest truth that that my mom was gone the minute she fell. So just to jump ahead, we get to March. And I get a call March 2nd from my grandma. And I know this has probably been a nightmare for her because this is her first daughter. This is her firstborn. She calls me at 5 a.m, same time. I'm getting ready for work. My grandma calls me and she says, she's gone. Your mom's passed away. And I'm just, again, it's like, I don't know. It's like certain news or certain events, I'll hear it, but it doesn't register with me right away. And I heard that. It didn't register that second. I just said, okay, I'll let my brothers know, let the family know. I hung up the phone, just kind of pacing in the room while I'm getting dressed, thinking to myself, what's going on? Like, why is this happening? But I still prepare for the day. I still prepare to go to work, which anybody would probably think that's crazy considering the news that I received. But I just really wanted to be distracted. And my headphones, I had these headphones sitting on the bed. They fell to the floor. I don't know if it was the sound, the impact, I don't know what it was. I heard the headphones fall and I broke down again. I guess that was like a catalyst for me to just start crying, but I was losing it. And I still went to work that day. I went to work and I told I think one or two coworkers about what was going on with my mom. And they were real, like I said, they really have been super supportive, more than I ever imagined would have been, taking place. But my supervisor, she found out what was going on and she pulled me off to the side. And she just asked me, she was like, why are you here? She asked me, why are you here today? And I told her, I said I was looking for a distraction. And she heavily encouraged me to go home. And you know what? I took it. I said, I'll take the day. It's fine. I'll just take the day. They gave me a couple of days off to just kind of get my head together and prepare for what was getting ready to happen. So the following Thursday comes and we have the funeral. Everybody's feeling how they're feeling, sad and everything like that. And my mom, she always said, growing up, she always kept reiterating to us that to never cry at her funeral, don't be sad, just to celebrate her life. And she specifically told me, because she kept having dreams about it, and she kept seeing how I carried myself. And she said for me to hold my brothers down. Which I heard that as a kid, younger, and I'm like, what do you mean hold my brothers down? Like, where is that coming from? She was just like, because when I pass, they're not going to be able to handle it. And I was like, but I won't be able to handle it either. But I guess she saw something in me that, like, way earlier, that would have been ready or prepared for that day. So the day comes and my brothers are doing okay. Obviously tears are being shed because it's a funeral. Like, that can't be helped. But I feel like I cried more than them. This year, the 2022 specifically, was really the time where I felt like I really got to know her. I really got to know my mom for who she was. It was the only time where I felt like she's actually really cool. And in that same year, she passes. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. But we did what she said. After the funeral, we went to a friend's house. All of us, the whole family. We watched a nice video that my aunt prepared. Beautiful video celebrating her life. But we had drinks, we had food, it was a great time. And I'm making this video, I guess, as my own personal therapy, as my own personal way to vent, because growing up, I previously said this, I've always felt alone, and that feeling has never left. That feeling has always followed me for 21 years, that I'm just alone. And my brothers say they keep trying, but it's like I can't get them to understand how I feel, and I'm always empathetic and supportive over anything that they want to do. Whatever they're going through, I'll hear them out. I'll provide my words of encouragement. I feel like I have a great effect, but I guess I've just never felt comfortable enough to open up, to be vulnerable in front of them, to let them know that I feel horrible every single day. And with my mom passing away, there are no words to describe the void that I feel. Sometimes I don't feel alive. Sometimes I don't feel worthy of life. And in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking to myself, why me? Why me? Why? At 21 years old, why would you give me all of this to handle, to take on? And how the hell am I supposed to do it? Every day, I have this feeling, which is why I'm it's good. It should be good for me, but it's why I'm in therapy. Every Monday I have therapy now. Every Monday I have therapy. Just a wellness check, see how I'm doing, see how I'm dealing with the grieving process and all that. My family heavily encouraged me to have this therapy, which I do appreciate, but and it helps, but the feeling doesn't go away. And now recently I've been having anxiety attacks, panic attacks. I've been severely paranoid. And anybody would easily say, oh, go to church. This family specific, go to church. Pray about it. Put some Jesus on it. I don't think people understand that sometimes that does not help. Especially when you've been doing that every single day. I have been praying every single day. And the feeling, sometimes the voices, excuse me, sometimes the things that I see, the paranoia, the sleep paralysis, these are things I never tell anybody about, and the reason why is because I just don't think anybody fucking cares. I don't think anybody cares enough to hear about what Sean has to say, so I shut the fuck up, and I don't say nothing to nobody. But these are the things I deal with on a day-to-day basis, every single day. And there's nothing I firmly believe there is not one thing nobody can say to me that would ever make me feel better. I don't know what to do anymore. Cause even my coworkers, they'll see me and they'll be like, "Oh, you're dealing with this really well. Like you're smiling and everything." I smile for everybody, you know. I always try to be that person for everybody, that supportive person, the person that gives the best words of encouragement, that gives out all the hugs. You know, I always try to love and be kind to everybody, but you have no idea what that takes. You have no idea what it takes. No clue. It's just, I really feel like when my mom left, a huge piece of who I was as a person left with her. And it's hard to believe that I'll ever get that back again.